Jesus. I mean, it literally would take
like 30 minutes to download a picture
just to see some titties from Kazaa. Just
yeah.
30 minutes. You wanted to see Carmen Electra Playboy centerfold from Kazaa or LimeWire. You literally would pull it up and you would just watch it, and it would be like 18 minutes until it's complete. I'm like, I hope this is a good photo because, little progress bar.
The forehead, then the eyebrows, and then you go down the body like,
oh man,
the anticipation.
It's looking good.
Welcome to the Chip and Cern Show, the podcast about everything and nothing at the same time. They were possibly separated at birth, only to be rejoined to create the sweet sounds that will caress your deepest cochlea. The show is real, random, rant-filled, and ruthless. Please be warned that the show may hurt your feelings, offend your grandma, and even kick your dead dog in the balls. So get ready, and let's get this shit started.
This shit has started. I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
And you were listening to the Chip and Cern Show.
Yes, once again. Or very possibly, for the first time.
We're going. It's happening. We're back. Better than ever? Better than...
I would say better than ever, yes.
I mean...
You got my health back? I mean, I was taking those antibiotics. My sinus is cleared. I'm back, baby.
What do you put the Cern body battery at out of 100? How are you feeling?
Okay, so this is a tricky one. This is actually I didn't give you a preview to this, so I would put it at like a 98. But as soon as CERN started to come to the mend, a project was then thrown in CERN's lap.
Oh, a manual labor project.
Yes, and this manual labor project was doing bathroom tile, so I had to pull out the old bathroom tile. And did you see how that shit was cemented in there?
Is it the very unique
clay
tile?
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
The red clay, yeah. And it's cemented in there.
You have to get one of those big pry bars and fucking bust it up. And
this was CERN's fault. So I was chiseling away, and the first tile just popped off. Like, poof. I was like, oh, easy. It was like fucking a breeze. Second one, poof. And I was like, oh. So then I thought, maybe you
were just like, in your head, you were like, "This is going to be. I'm going to save hours." Were you getting a little excited?
This is just they lock these things in here by just because they use a real thick like cement grout.
Yeah.
So I thought, this is actually okay. So I opted not to rent the chisel, the
okay,
tile off the ground.
Yeah. The power tool, basically.
I don't need it. Yeah. So, but I said, we don't need it because if these things popped up, this is what it looks like to me. Okay. So we get into it.
Uh-oh.
And that was the only two that came up screen the rest of the fucking day. And I was on there. I was like just dripping sweat, like just. And they were all locked in there, except for when we were on the toilet. The toilet popped up pretty easily. But everywhere else was high traffic areas. Makes more sense. They glued those fuckers, and they glued them. Oh, man, they were glued.
They spared no expense on the glue and the cement.
Not in those areas. Fuck. So I've been sore for... and then I had to lay the tile. Now,
brutal.
The way we usually do it is... Robin's usually you lay the tile.
Mm-hmm.
You get down there and you lay the tile, and I'm going to do the cuts. I'm going to measure and do the cuts.
Oh, okay. Divide and conquer.
Yes. Now, I tend to get a little bossy.
I mean, it sounds like you're there's a power dynamic of not a power dynamic, but the ask was thrown your way to do the project. So you're the project manager and the worker.
Yeah, and the worker.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So I tend to get a little bossy.
Yeah.
Just because I know how it needs to be done.
Yeah.
It's, usually it's like, well, I think this is close enough. And I don't like close enough because, sir, he's just to fucking do it.
We've
do it the way I'm asking.
We've definitely had this discussion before, and with your wife. I believe it was a three-way discussion, and I think we've debated this, and I think my wife is on the same side as your wife of it's good enough to go, and it's but it could be better.
It could be better.
And it should. It's the effort to get it to be it could go from a 6 out of 10. It can go to an 8 or a 9 out of 10. And the level of effort for that incremental gain
it's
negligible.
It just takes a second.
Yeah,
just
a second.
Just one more dab, and one more scrape. But it's like it's good.
Yep.
And for me, it's like that's not what I asked. So then it's like, at first it's like because I'm not at work, so it's like, hey, I asked you to. Can we just do it that way? And then, after like the third time I'm asking, then I'm kind of nagging, and then I get the tooth thrown my way, and then I go into full supervisor mode. Like no.
You put her on a performance plan.
Yeah.
Performance improvement. John Pip.
PIP. Yep. And then you waste like 20 minutes arguing. About something that's very small, minute. Just But no,
I hear you. I get it. It's like
maybe as I think back, it's probably not a huge deal, but it's just for me, it's like a trip up.
It's just I totally understand. I'm with you.
She gets mad because she said, "You will do 100% whether you're the only person that will see it or not," and that's just that's how I am.
Yeah, those
are
called scruples.
Yeah, because it's going to eat me alive if I don't.
Yes, even though it might be a fat cut but a baseboard is kind of covering 99% of the cut, but you're going to see the fucking bee's dick sliver of tile that's exposed, and it's going to. It's like
drive me insane. It's a magnet, just boom every time. Like there was one, so we glued the tile, some of the tiles in. Then we ran out of mortar, so I was like, "Well, we'll get it tomorrow." It was getting dark anyway.
Yeah.
You wake in the morning and it's like, "Oh, everything looks great." And there's this one tile that's kind of rocking a little bit. It was still a little wet because we laid it in the evening. And my wife's like, "Well, it's just wet. Just leave it alone." But it was moving. It was rocking. Mm. I swear to God, I was working, but it was on my mind,
just
all day,
just like niggling in your head somewhere, just kind of burrowing around.
Back and then I was like, you know what? No. So I actually took a little crowbar. She left. So I took a crowbar, popped it up, and fixed it.
Oh, nice.
Laid it back down.
Like, hey, could you go grab Dutch Bros for me? And then
I was like, I can't let this go any longer.
And something like a wiggly tile. It's just it's not going to fix itself magically. Like if it's starting off on the wrong foot, so to speak, it's only going to get worse.
And it could be like, and what happens? There was a high spot in the middle, and it was like rocking. So it could have been a problem. Like it dries on one side, you step on the other side, and when everything's hard, it'll just crack instead of rock.
Yeah. Huh.
So I had to fix it, but it was just driving me nuts.
Did she recognize that it's been fixed?
Yeah, because I had cleaned it off. I was like wiping it down.
Oh, yeah.
Wet. She's like, "What happened?" I was like, "Okay, so here's what happened."
So when you left,
I couldn't let it go. I just couldn't let it go. I'm sorry, I couldn't let it go.
Yeah,
it was eating me alive.
Totally, I totally understand. I have some of those things. It's sort of, I feel like it's the way with the garage. Like at my house, I have the garage is some, I guess, kind of my. I don't want to say domain because I don't like hang out here on a regular basis, but all the podcast stuff is out here, the bikes tools and shit.
Whatever,
yeah.
Same here.
But it's everyone else treats it as the fucking junk storage.
Trash can?
Yeah. And the cardboard boxes, just the door to the garage gets open and then they just get thrown without a care in the world, just tossed into the garage.
It's the same thing.
And and like every day I go out and it's like, okay, let me just like ratchet my fucking anxiety, my daily anxiety level up like one more level.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Trash day's 3 days away. Okay. The boxes stack higher. Oh boy, I hope I can make it. Or something, it's so bad when you're doing the garbage before the night before it's due. You're like,
oh yeah.
You're like doing the homework ahead of time kind of thing.
So I'd say I have the same thing. And I complain about it all the time.
Yeah.
So actually my wife sent me like a little Instagram reel that was like, "You're not a wife unless you do this with the box." And she's like, walks over to the trash can and goes to throw it away and then shakes her head and then walks back to the door to the garage and then throws it on the floor and walks in. I was like, how many times like, so sometimes I like go out there. I don't know if you do this. Sometimes I don't turn the light on because it's just a real quick. I know where it's at in my head. I have the garage mapped in my head. Mm-hmm. And then it's like, I take a fucking header because I'm like over the boxes. And then I'm really staving.
Oh, dude. Well, we have, I'm sure you have this as well, but the toddlers, well, it's been a while since you have a 16-year-old today. Happy 420, everybody. That's the time of release, by the way. Smoke them if you got them.
There you go.
Toddler shoe removal practices. So my son, he just turned 4. He only lives in Crocs.
It doesn't stop a toddler. We got an 11-year-old and a 16 and an 18-year-old that do the same fucking thing.
He has Crocs. He literally just like fucking just kicks his feet out and just sends them flying, just reckless. And so there's shoes all over. So they're like mines when you come out in the garage to grab a water, whatever. And they're just laying there waiting for a dad to come through and fucking eat shit on it. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, I know this. I know the struggle.
Let me see what I'm looking around. Okay, trash day was just a couple days ago, so there's only a couple boxes here, but they're haphazard.
Same here. Ours was today, so it was just I cleaned it all up. I did a sweep.
Do you also get this? Obviously we frequent Target quite a lot, but the saving of the plastic bags, like if you order Target, they can just put it in your trunk. So we do that.
Yeah, you know what's funny about the order when you do it online?
Yeah,
it's like they have a plastic bag for each fucking item.
It's too much. I'm like, when I go to Target, I get 0 bags because I feel like against paying 10 cents. But when you do it through the app, they're just free. They're just like they're just
Yeah, but it's like you could have fit everything in one bag instead I have 4.
Yeah, I've had like 1 jar of salsa in a double bagged plastic bag. I'm like, you could just put everything on there. But I've been finding these sort of nested Target bags, like 20 Target bags just stuffed into a big. I'm like, I have never seen anyone in the last, let's say, 24 months, 1 to 2 years here, use one of said saved Target bags. So why are we creating a fucking giant ball of right in the garbage, right in the recycling? It's my new thing.
We save them too, but Zach actually uses his for like when he does, because he has like trash duty. So this is insane to me. This is insane to me. Well, you say there you go, but like he does like all the little trash cans in the bedroom.
Okay.
Or the bathrooms, I mean. Sorry.
Yeah.
The little tiny ones. Instead of just like taking a can out and like dumping it in the trash can, he like, I guess he saves himself a trip. He just dumps it into a bag. It walks over, dumps it into the bag, dumps it in the bag, and then takes the bag out. Okay. As I spoke through it, it's okay.
Yeah. But I see, because you're transporting. There's opportunity for seepage of said garbage.
Opportunity. It happens on daily. It happens all the time. I'm like, why the?
And it's the bathroom garbage, so there's all sorts of fucking
flossers and Q-tips and all sorts of shit.
All sorts of things in the garbage and in the bathroom. That usually stuff you don't want like resurfaced or falling again on the bathroom floor. But we haven't. You just had a birthday, 16 today.
Yeah, he's 16. Yeah.
What's a 16-year-old up to these days?
Gaming.
Nice.
I read this thing where most of the kids around his age at this point in time, like it's only like 45% of them want to get their license.
Wow.
And I was like, what? And he's one of them. He's just like, no. I'm like,
yeah. Why is that? Why? What was the reasoning behind it?
I don't know.
The only thing I could think of obviously when we were that age. Now this is
eons.
Maybe approaching 2 decades ago here pretty soon.
Actually, for me, it's exactly 2 decades ago.
Oh yeah, there you go. I'll be joining you soon enough, Cerny. And
less than a month.
The car was a gateway, a key to freedom, to interacting and hanging out with whoever the fuck you wanted, and no one really had a say.
And it was a huge disappointment if you couldn't if like the DMV was full on your birthday.
Yeah,
like, I had to wait. Like I think it was like 2 days after my birthday. It was like, oh fuck.
It was just brutal, and I think now, because when we were in school, there wasn't really Facebook or any of that stuff, so you could text your friends.
You can kind of play online with your. Could you talk on Xbox at that point in time? I don't think you could. Maybe.
Oh yeah,
it was brand new.
It was that really functionality was just happening. Xbox Live essentially. That kind of pretty much came out when we were in college. I think.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah, it was
Xbox
over the
Live.
very end of high school. Like we had to be 18, and it was really really new.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was like we all had the Nokia bricks, you know.
It's playing Snake on there. Texting, where you have to text, like if you wanted to say I can't make it, you'd have to hit, if you wanted the C, you have to hit the 2 3 times as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It was, it's just, yeah. So no wonder you were limited on text. It was like
and you got charged by the text. There was no unlimited back in the day. It was like you had
yeah. I mean, I feel like every millennial probably has a story about the one time they fucking blew through their cell phone a lot of minutes. Or
and you had to like turn it off, like because they remember they would charge you whether you got it or sent it. It wasn't like just like sent.
And
so
we're talking, it was like 25 cents a message or something, right?
Yeah,
like,
oh yeah.
And you know, when you're 16, you're not keeping track of fucking how many messages.
Then, like, you were getting yelled at, and it's like it's only halfway through the month, and you've already burned through all of your text messages. It's like,
oh,
I better turn my phone off then. Fuck it.
Gotta go the burner phone. Gotta go the burner. I mean, yeah. Well, my parents weren't like getting online phone bills or anything. So the you know, so they were reviewing the statements, and if you had, you know, you would know. Oh man, I got in like 3 fights with my girlfriend this last month. So I've been burning through my minutes and texts trying to do some damage repair, or I'm syncing up with the boys after or whatever. And you know, you're like, fuck, in like 45 days, this phone bill's going to get here. I'm screwed.
But you couldn't see. That's the thing I always battle with the kids of today's generation, with their grades and stuff too. Because it's like, they have, one of them has like dog shit grades.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I didn't know I was missing that. I said, how the fuck? You can look it up. You have the same. It's not like I have some sort of like administrator fucking credentials. I can get into the goddamn system and hack it in there and take a look. I have the same look you do.
Yeah.
I was like, geez. And I just fucking get the old man Cern out here and be like, in my day, you had no fucking idea. You had no idea. You just had to wait for it.
For real though.
You couldn't look it up. You just had to. I said, shit. Same thing with the phone. It's like if you went over something, you just like, or if you had like a gut feeling like, oh, it was close. You just had to wait for the bill to come in, but you couldn't open it because it wasn't in your name.
No.
You just had to wait for it, just like, accept due. It's coming.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, it was coming, and your parents.
You saw the bill like come in the mail, and they would take it away and they'd open it and they would call your name and be like, oh, here you go.
They're like, come here real quick. Chip, can you come to mom and dad's room? We got the phone bill in.
Yep.
It's $300 because there's some overages for this number. But I don't remember ever really keeping track of my minutes. You would have to call into some AT&T number or whatever the number, and they would like tell you, they would like read back
Sure
to you.
West.
Right? Yeah, Sure West. Sure West Wireless. You'd have to phone.
Yeah, it'd be like one of those, like, I would never keep track, but it'd be like, I would start thinking like, I have a gut feeling like I've been on the ringer.
Been on the blower a lot.
On the blower a lot. And, I don't know where I'm at. And this is going to be, and you start like going through past calls. Like I'd go through the past calls and like look at the minutes. Yeah. And like, ooh, this is going to come down to the width of a gnat's ass. Whether
like doing a little back of the napkin math here. My 120 minutes are not looking great. But then at some point,
it wasn't even a lot of minutes either. It wasn't like 800 minutes or 1,000 minutes.
Yeah, or if you were going to be on
minutes.
On the phone too long, you would be like, yo, call me on the landline. Let's take this to the landline.
Yeah. I saw this. It was an Instagram reel, but I'm sure it was a TikTok at one point in time.
They usually, that's
it was like some Gen Z or some, like somebody was like 18 or some shit. Was like, back in the day, there was one line for the whole family. Like she's going through this whole rant. I was confused as fuck. And then like smash cut this lady. She's talking about a landline. Oh my God. How old am I? What the fuck happened? How did I get this old? She's talking about a fucking landline. I was like,
yeah, I mean, and then you knew you were, or your cool, some friends, the cool friends, and would have lines, remember, in their own room, or there would be multiple
Yeah,
like they had some hookup with the telephone company that they could get multiple phone lines, like different numbers, so they would have their own phone. I think my wife had that. Like they had a phone that they split between the kids.
Oh yeah, okay.
Or you need a line for your old fax machine.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Get any business faxes at the house.
And remember, so for us, at least like in probably not high school, but I bet you like middle school.
Yeah.
We had like a phone that was on the wall. Like it was, you weren't going nowhere. You were going like 15
with
feet,
a cord.
10 feet from it. Yeah.
Yeah.
At best. I would say 6 feet, about 6 feet from it. And it's like, it was right next to the family room. So it's like someone called you, like, what's going on? Like, there was no like, let me take you to that room.
Yeah. Like
you're fucking chatting right there.
Yeah. It's like, oh, hey, Chip. Yeah, that sounds, yeah, I'd love to go to church with you tonight. Yeah.
Special service.
Wednesday night service. Yeah. And then if your siblings were fucking with you, they would go pick up the other phone. So they just listen into what you're saying.
Breathe into it.
Get off the fucking line.
Or I remember, like, I was just talking to my wife. I was like, remember when, like, you be talking to somebody and, like, my dad be like, I don't know, you could just pick up the other line and be like, I need to get off. Get on the phone. Get off. I'm like, okay, well, I got to go.
Or when how most it was at our house is that I would be logged online with dial up, and then the parents would try to pick the phone up, and they're just like, "Get off the internet! Get off the internet! We need to get it. We need to call somebody." Or they would get mad because they were expecting a call, but you're just busy signal for that. That was the bigger get was that you're just like clogging the incoming. Yeah. Incoming calls are all blocked,
and you couldn't get the message either. Like there would be no like. That was like the biggest mind blower for like Jeffrey when he was like, "Oh, I saw when we were kids. Like you want to get on the internet, no one could use the phone." He's like, "No one could just call you on your cell phone." I was like, "No, there was no cell phone.
No
like,
cell phones.
It was on the wall, and when you were on the internet, you couldn't get nothing."
And the internet was slow as. I don't even know how to describe how slow it was. So your phones now are 100 times faster. At least
100. Maybe 1,000.
Jesus. I mean, it literally would take
like 30 minutes to download a picture.
Just to see some titties from Kazaa. Just 30 minutes. You wanted to see Carmen Electra Playboy Centerfold from Kazaa or LimeWire. You literally would pull it up and you just watch it. And it would be like 18 minutes until it's complete. I'm like, I hope this is a good photo because, little progress bar.
The forehead. Yeah. Then the eyebrows, and then you go down the body like,
oh man,
the anticipation.
It's looking good. It's looking real good. And then your mom's like, get off the internet, and you're like, oh fuck,
I gotta start over. Fuck.
Don't even have a centimeter of cleavage to work with. I'm gonna have to resort to the old spank bank for this one.
Close my eyes. So it's funny because like, my dad got Zach a shirt today, and it was a Commodore 64, like the classic PC.
Oh yeah, nice.
And he's like, I don't get it. Like, we're all laughing. He's like, I don't get it. I was like, that's the old PC, man.
Yeah.
He's like, what do you mean, like the white boxes? I was like, what? White boxes? What the fuck are you talking about? And so he's telling me, I was like, yeah. So I was telling him about, like, remember in grade school, when, like, you got to play Oregon Trail? Like, you would fight over Oregon Trail with, like, the 18 discs.
The floppy disk that's, like, as big as a CD, at least.
Yeah, you'd have to, like, you make it a level, pop it out, put the second one in, make it out, pop it out, put the third one in.
If you wanted to play a game,
you'd always die from Missouri by dysentery. But anyway,
always. Has anyone even won that game ever? Or people just always, it's like, it's one of those impossible
dysentery gets here every time.
Always.
As far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
You can send us at chipandcern@gmail.com if you actually beat the game.
If you beat Oregon Trail, send us a line.
But I'm pretty sure you died of dysentery.
Yeah. Well, yeah, if you wanted to play a game, you would have to bring over like a Rolodex essentially, and it would have 20 floppy disks.
Oh yeah.
And that was like the game was on there, and it would be like, okay, you start at 1, you put it in, and it like insert
with the black screen with the green and graphics, basically. Yep.
And then there was this little bar that would basically like hold the disc in, sort of, or activate the
like
disc,
a little click,
like a little flip.
It's push it until it clicks, or you push it down. on the button thing, click it in.
Yeah, and then so you would do that, and you would just be rifling through. So like playing a game must have taken, I don't even so long, long.
Yeah, because they have no idea. No idea.
No clue. But that's what our parents said about us, I guess.
Yeah, so
But
I guess it's all evens out.
Well, so they don't want to drive. He doesn't want his license at 16. We needed the license.
No, I need a license. So, like for me, like we weren't going to talk about it. For now, I'm not going to push him. If he's not mentally ready to drive, that's fine. Because I don't want him to.
Well, he's got a sister still for one more year around that can
and
drive his ass around.
He's a little slow to process his surroundings, so it's not really a great thing when you're in the car behind the wheel.
That's true.
So I'll leave it. But by 17, no, we're going down. We're getting a license and we're getting a job.
Let's start the process of getting you the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to be 34-year-old.
But let's
you're going to be a 34-year-old in the meatloaf.
No, yeah. Mom, meatloaf, fuck. Whatever the new Twitch is. There'd probably be 2 or 3 Twitches beyond then. Whatever that is.
Yeah.
But
it's got to be, I don't know. Some of the shit they say, I'm like, huh? I'm old out of touch now.
Yeah.
What?
That's us.
Or you know what? Actually,
old guys now.
I'm at the point like I remember my dad he would say we would say got him, he'd do our fucking phrases.
Yeah.
And he would just look at me like he'd give a shit. And now I was like, oh, I understand because I don't really care.
Yeah, and there's something so satisfying as a parent to sort of turn the screws to your kid a little bit. If you know something is getting under their skin, there's just something that just tickles you a certain way about just annoying them. Probably just payback.
Yeah, it is. It's like having me, so must happen to you.
Yeah. Exactly. But it's also so easy too, because you kind of know the triggers and.
Without, I could do it with my eyes, not even with little effort.
Oh, totally, absolutely. We got the NBA playoffs are happening, and our Sacramento Kings, Cerny, are we're sort of grew up Kings fans, or I guess they're back in the playoffs after quite the absence.
A drought. Yeah.
Basically, since we were in high school or middle school,
yeah,
it's the last time they've been in the playoffs. And looks like they're pretty good. I watched 2 quarters of an NBA game, which is the longest I've ever watched the NBA in the last several years, for sure.
You watched way more than the playoff game than I did. I didn't watch any of it.
I think it was just on, and the kids were asleep, and I'm like, oh, let's watch the Kings, because everyone was talking about how good they are, and their coach, I think, won Coach of the Year today. He was
the assistant for the Warriors.
Oh, well, there you go. Now he's going up against the Warriors now, and there's the script is in from the commish. I think Draymond Green is suspended now for the next game for some stomping incident.
I don't know if he should have been suspended for that, but
I don't know.
The guy was grabbing his foot, and I was watching some other plays, like they were going through the thing.
Yeah, they've just been scrapping a little.
And that guy was playing a little dirty too. So I'm sure that it seems to be like it seemed to be the game plan was to piss him off because obviously he's got a trigger.
Yeah, yeah. But I don't know where I formed this opinion, but you tell me if this is right. But it feels like the NBA refs are the most. There's not a lot of concrete. They're the most like. It's like, oh, I don't know if they're doing a good job, or it seems that they can really shift the momentum of the game more so than an MLB. Like, an umpire can make a bad save for out call or a ball or a strike. That has minimal impact, but a huge foul at a very pivotal moment in the game could really turn it for the NBA.
Yeah, and I heard they're complaining today that the refs were in favor of the Kings. They were,
of course, that's always how it goes.
Now, the speaking of sports, did you see Max Scherzer today?
I did see this. He was ejected from the game today. There was some concern about a banned foreign substance on his glove or on his hand. It's unclear.
He was told to change gloves. Because his glove had stuff on it. So he changed gloves.
Okay.
Came out with the second one and then got rung. So I think if you get rung for that, that's 80 games.
80?
That's what I heard.
Or 8?
I thought it was 8-0.
8-0, like a PED suspension?
Yeah, I haven't looked it up yet. Hold on, I got to look it up now because I saw.
I did see that I did see additional games he could be suspended. I don't know if I heard 80, but Cern's fact checking it for us now.
Because I heard Frank the Tank, who's on Barstool, he was like yelling, "It's 80 games! It's 80 games! Fuck!"
Wow,
and I was like, what?
That's be fun.
80, 10. Excuse me.
10. Okay.
10. Oh wait, this is from 2021. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
There was a new. Remember, we've had some rule changes, so now I gotta see.
There's been 3 of these ejections, and they've all been by the same umpire. Did you see this stat?
No.
Yes. So the same guy, he's ejected 3 pitchers under this rule, but it's like, can you use the rosin bag or no? Because it seems that rosin has some stick to it, but there's a lot of it's too subjective. The rulings are too subjective.
Still 10 games.
Okay, 10 games.
What the fuck's that fool saying?
So that's 80. A couple starts. 3 starts probably?
Automatic, yeah, it's automatic 10 games. That's right. Okay, so it's automatic 10 game.
Does he get appeal? Probably.
Yeah, I said he's going to appeal because he says it was rosin.
So do they send his gloves off to like a lab for investigation, or?
I thought he tossed it to him. I'm not sure.
Do they investigate if it actually is a banned substance, or it's just an umpire that like decides that it is a problem? I don't know because it was like. So did you see the one with was it Domingo Germán or whatever his name was for the Yankees? No.
Where Rocco DeBaldelli got tossed. So
it's all the same.
It was umpire. The same. So he was looking at it and like looked at his hand and he said it's pretty sticky. Or whatever. He's like, well, it's just a rosin. He said, go wash your hands. So he washed his hands. He came back out, doing whatever. He's like, let me see your hands. He yelled at him. Said, I told you to wash your hands. He's like, but it's just a rosin. But like John Boy did a thing where the motherfucker didn't touch rosin bags.
Oh.
But then he said, well, it was the rosin in the dugout. So he says, wash your hands and you need to use the rosin on the mound.
Yeah.
So then he gave
in between innings he was applying he was saying he would be applying rosin or something in between innings. Suspect.
But then so then he said so then he let him wash his hands and he went back out there and then Rocco Baldelli's like, because he's the manager of the Twins, was like, hey, what the fuck, he got busted.
He got tossed though, right?
Yeah you gotta let him wash his fucking hands. I mean, I thought that was black and white.
Yeah. So
he got tossed because they said, what was your intent? Do you see the interview? What was your intent or whatever was going out there? He's like, I wasn't coming back in the dugout.
He knew he was ready to get run. He was ready to get run. That's good. But I got to say the new time and the new timing and the baseball games are definitely exciting. I'm all for the changes, even the bigger bases.
Yeah, they don't seem to be a really big problem at the moment.
No. And the pitch clock seems to kind of be more or less figured out 99% of the time. There is edge cases.
I bet you we're going to still see an issue.
Yeah. There still will be some times for sure. But, sports are it's heating up. NBA playoffs and baseball's back in full swing and the weather's getting better. Sun's out, tits out. That's what I always say.
That's exactly that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Summer's right around the corner. And there's bound to be a party at Cern's house soon enough.
It's always open invitation for you, Chip.
Don't tempt me. I know you have a spa there.
I was just in it last night.
Nice. Go get a soak for yourself. And, we'll see y'all next week.
Yep.
But until next time, I'm Chip.
I'm Cern.
Cheers.